Hi Jay, this is Mike Milius with Dell Packaging. It is Friday, I think today is February the 1st, and what you're looking at now is one of our test feeders. This is our largest feeder. It's what we call an RF 6200. It's a 62-inch diameter feeder, and we're going to do a little test for you and just show you how we can get the chip bags in single file without doubles or stacking. And if Frito likes what they see in this particular video, we'll kind of take it to the next level and start looking at orienting the bags once they exit the feeder. We have some ideas and some concepts that we've used on other applications that we'd like to try in that area. This feeder has a conical shaped disc that's on a separate drive than the outer casting. What we're doing to qualify or to single file these bags of chips is we have what we call two high qualifiers. You'll see a clamp in the video with a piece of sheet metal that's bent and formed out, and what that does, it'll sweep off the bags of chips if they're not laying flat or if you have two on top of each other. The second clamp that you see is our second qualifier. It's adjusted a little bit lower so that if we miss one on this end that's stacked, we'll hopefully catch it with this one. And so really from that point forward, you should see the caps, or not the caps, the bags single file and laying flat. Now we're not going to be exiting the feeder, we're just going to sweep them back into the bowl at this point. But you'll get the general idea of how we're getting the bags in the single file. Again, Jay, this is where the exit of the feeder would be. We're just sweeping these back into the bowl. So again, the main thing we're trying to do here is just get the bags in single file without bags stacked on top of each other. So in this area, you should see bags coming out single file and not stacked on top of each other. Jay, this is a device that we developed several years ago that will take an overcap that travels down this conveyor, and will actually flip the overcap on the fly into the proper orientation. The way we're doing it, we're looking at the cap with a sensor. You can see the sensor here, and then there's an air jet that will supply a pulse of air. Here's your air jet, and flip the cap as it travels in between these opposing belts. The idea with the chip bag is to do something similar, where again we would come out of the feeder onto a conveyor. The caps, or the bags, excuse me, would be in various orientations, but they would be single file. And then when they got to this point, we would look at the bag either with a sensor or a vision camera, supply a pulse of air, or even have an air knife that would flip the bag off the end of the conveyor into the proper orientation, and then on to the exit conveyor, which you're seeing down here. So this belt assembly would go away, and we would simply come off the end. If they were in the right orientation, they would just fall off onto the next conveyor. If they were in the wrong orientation, we would hit them with the pulse of air, and we would flip them over. Now, to do this test, we would have to make some significant changes to this fixture, and there's some cost incurred, but I'll cover that in an email on what that would cost to set this up and to do the test properly. But just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like. Again, the bags would be traveling down this conveyor. We'd be looking at it with a sensor or a vision camera. We would hit it with a pulse of air or have an air knife that would flip the bag if it was in the wrong orientation onto an exiting conveyor on the other side. I'm also going to send you a video of this particular unit in action. We can run overcaps at speeds of about 600 per minute through this device, and it's very effective, very efficient. Of course, the bag is going to be a little bit more of a challenge because of the fact that the bag is not always symmetrical, and will also be traveling down the conveyor, potentially twisted or turned before it hits this area. So that should give you an idea of what we're going to do for round 2 of testing if Frito chooses to go that way. Thank you.